Hi, brother.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Eye on the County. We want to thank you for tuning in tonight. Our program brought to you each Tuesday night at 8 o'clock here on Channel 8, brought to you by the Wabash Telephone Company and also by the Flora Bank and Trust Company. Tonight, our program is a little bit different. Matter of fact, you can probably tell it isn't night. This is being taped this afternoon on a Saturday, and the thing that's a little bit different is our guests that we've had up to this point for the last 3 months have all come in to the studio to visit us there. Our program tonight is a little bit different. We have gone out of the studio and gone to our guest. You might remember about 2 to 3 months ago, our guest out at the station was Sheriff Willie Thompson from here in Clay County. So today we've come to visit the sheriff right here in his kind of backyard at the Clay County Jail. Sheriff, we're glad to have you on our program once again.
Welcome to the Clay County Jail.
Well, my pleasure.
Pleasure to have you.
Could you tell us a little bit about the jail here?
Okay. Well, this is a new jail. Our jail was built in 1975, and we moved over to this new jail from the old jail in December of that year. And since that time, several things have taken place. If you'll note to the left of me, the antenna that we have. We've had that antenna up now a couple of years, and we have all of our radio equipment on that antenna, and that antenna and approximately $70,000 worth of radio equipment was purchased through a grant for Clay County, and we've had that in operation now about 2.5 years. We're very proud of it, and the radio work that we do out in the county is considerably different than it was a few years back, in that we can hear each other a lot better. We have better transmission from car to the base and from car to car.
Okay, let's look over here at the jail itself. It is really a very beautiful building, and didn't I hear on one of the Terre Haute stations that some county in Illinois is going to come and look at this?
That's right, Ron. On August 13th, Clark County, Illinois, will be here to tour our jail. They're going to have some county board members here, the sheriff's going to be here, and some private citizens. And they're going to look our jail over and consider building one similar to it in their county.
See, well, that ought to be quite an honor then for Clay County to be able to do that.
This is about the third group that's been through here.
Let's see. Well, that's great. Now, to give the folks here in our viewing audience an idea of where we're located, right down here to our left is the courthouse. And what is this, Broadway? East Broadway.
Yes, sir.
So it's just down the couple of blocks from the old jailhouse that was there. Is this where you take the prisoners in then?
Yes, Ron. When we bring a prisoner into the Clay County Jail, the car pulls in. The door is operated by the jailer on the inside electronically, and he pushes the button, the door goes up, and the car goes in. Once the car is inside the jail, the door comes down, and then we release the prisoner.
Okay, for our viewers tonight, this program is really going to be in 2 parts. So this first part, we're going to head in, we're going to take a tour of the jail, and then our second part is, well, I'm going to get arrested after a while and go through the whole booking process. Well, maybe not all of it, because I think that takes 45 minutes, but you'll get the basic idea of what's going to happen to you if you ever break the law and the sheriff or one of his men comes to arrest you. So let's go ahead to the first part. Let's go on into the jail now, and let's be taking a tour of the facilities here. Okay, we're now in the office of Sheriff Willie Thompson. And Sheriff, want to show us around your office here?
Okay. As Ron said, this is the sheriff's office. This is where I spend a lot of my time doing paperwork and talking to a lot of you people on the phone. Over here at the phone, we have 3 lines, incoming lines to the Clay County Jail. And we also have an intercom system throughout the jail to the radio room, to the booking room. And then we have an intercom system to the courthouse. And the intercom system we can call the state's attorney's office, the circuit clerk's office, and any of the judges' chambers that we have over there, including both courtrooms. To the left of the telephone and the intercom system, we have a radio, and this is a police radio. This radio is used to talk to the cars and to, of course, back to my office. This radio was put in here when the jail was built in 1975, It has since become somewhat obsolete in that we have our new radio system now in the jail, and we're thinking about converting this radio to that system.
Okay. Did you clean this up for us?
Yes, we've done a little work on it.
This doesn't look like my office back home. Okay.
Ron, while you're here, I have a little something I'd like to give you. This is a "Have You Hugged Your Kid Today" sticker from the Illinois Sheriff's Association, and I'd like very much and be very honored if you would put this on your car at your earliest convenience.
Thank you very much. I saw several of these outside on the vehicle.
That's right, and should anyone in the county want one, all they've got to do is drop by the office.
Okay. Well, we're going to kind of fade out of this room and go into the next then and see what's just adjacent to the sheriff's office then. Now, we've just stepped out of the sheriff's office and we're now in his secretary's office. And not only does the secretary work in here, the sheriff informs me also that anytime the deputies come in to fill out any of their papers or to make their reports, they come right over to this section of the office to do that. Seems like in about everything anymore, we've always got a ton of paperwork to do, and I'm sure that it's no different here with the sheriff's department. Now maybe we can look right out. Can you get a shot right out through the glass? This room right directly across from the secretary's office is where they bring the prisoners to visit. Well, no, they don't bring the prisoners in that room, but the guests that come to visit the prisoners. And of course, inside that, maybe, I don't know if we'll be able to get a shot of that later or not. If we don't, there is a very thick glass there. The visitors are on this side, the prisoners come through a door on the other side and get to visit there. Sheriff, how often are the prisoners allowed visitors?
Okay, we have visiting twice a week here at the jail. Wednesdays from 1:30 to 3, and Saturdays from 10:30 to 11:30.
Okay.
Correction, 10 to 11:30.
10 to 11:30.
Right.
Now, right over the sheriff's shoulder here, we have a plaque then that tells about the jail here, when it was made, and the architects and all. And that's really a very impressive plaque, and it's a nice place to have it there. Okay, we're gonna go on from here, on back through the steel door here. And Sheriff, how do you get through this steel door? Can we look over here? Can you get a shot of that, Terry? As we're going back into the jail now.
The only way that we can get in is to notify the jailer that we're here. Since I'm not back in my office near the intercom, I'll merely knock on the door and he'll look out to see who's standing in front of this glass. Once he sees that it is me, he'll open the door.
Okay. You just heard the door come unlocked. Okay, we'll be going back through there. Okay, now we're in the visitor's room. Would you tell us about that, Sheriff?
Well, we're on the prisoner side of the visiting room right now, and this is where we bring the prisoners from the cell blocks to see guests coming to visit them, their parents, any relative that might want to see them. We do not, however, allow friends to visit the prisoners, relatives only. And of course, the relatives or whoever comes in from the outside sits on the opposite side of the glass here, and there are little screens at the bottom of these windows where they can talk, and the voice carries through in that manner.
Now I take it the glass is pretty thick, so you couldn't bust it.
Yes, Ron, that's about 1/2 to 3/4 inch thick.
I see. Okay, and of course it's behind another steel door. This is one thing that kind of gives a person an eerie feeling as you walk through the jail, steel door after steel door. And do you have that key with you? Did you put
Yes,
that
I do,
up?
Ron.
These locks are really something, along with the keys. Those things, the sheriff tells me these are a lot smaller than what they used to be, but still, if you get a pocket full of these, you got a pocket full of keys. Okay, we're going to go out from this room then to where they cook the meals. That's right next door, so we'll be right back with you. Okay, here we are in your kitchen. Do you cook the meals right here for the prisoners?
Yes, we do, Ron. We serve the majority of the time TV dinners, and occasionally we cook. We have a lady who works for the Green Thumb program who comes in and cooks occasionally for the prisoners, but most of the time it's TV dinners.
I see. Looks like you have a very well-equipped kitchen here.
Yes, we do. We're very proud of our kitchen. It sometimes appears to be a little cramped for some, but after all, we're only here to prepare meals for the prisoners, therefore we don't need much room. But we have a gas stove, we have a microwave oven, of course a refrigerator with a freezer on top, and I might add that we have 2 other freezers in the building for storing our TV dinners. Now this is a size TV dinner that we use for lunchtime, and this one happens to be turkey, but we have other kinds of TV dinners also. Then we use the larger TV dinner for dinner or supper. For us Clay County folks, it's supper. We prepare this one. Now, I've heard some comments from some of the children that come to the jail, boy, I love TV dinners. But if you eat TV dinners in here for about 90 days, you don't like them. And perhaps this might be a deterrent also to coming to the Clay County Jail.
Well, I think so. Now, how many maximum prisoners can you have here that you'd have to fix these for?
Well, we can hold in the jail 12 prisoners, and that's our maximum. Now, as you'll see later, most of the cells here, 8 of the cells are 2-man cells. There's one large cell which holds 4. We use that cell for work-released prisoners.
Okay. Well, where are we headed next then?
Next, I think we'll go to the booking room.
Okay. Okay, right now we are in the section of the jail called the Sally Port. Now, I have no idea where they got that name, but this is the place where right at the end of this hall is the door, another steel door that leads out into the garage. Now, we mentioned earlier when we were outside about this big garage out there where the sheriff or one of his deputies would pull in with the prisoner in the vehicle. The steel door comes down behind it. Once that is shut, then this door is triggered from the inside here where it is opened up. Then the sheriff or deputy and the prisoner would come through the door. The officer would immediately put his gun, his handgun, right into one of these lockers here, and he would lead his prisoner right through this hall, and over here on my right then is the radio room, and hopefully we'll be going in there in just a short time. But then they're going to go right straight ahead of me into what is called the booking room. So we're going into the booking room and see what happens there.